Oops, no. Yes, it'll do that. Oh well. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Ah. Do, 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 do. Ah. Oh well. There we go. Do your thing while I do my thing. All right. All right. I guess we're going to get started. Do your thing while I do my thing. Oh, I got to shut myself up over there. All right. Thank you for letting me know. Doom, 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 to the east, to the north, to the west, to the south, above, below, in the center. Oh, that was pretty nice. That's nice. Ah. Yes. Now I'll hit you with the perfect fifth. Yeah. Better, better. Well, here we are again, and it's my time. Yeah, I'm on. I'm all the way live. So, greetings, everyone. If you've never watched me before, I go by the name of Big Pontiac. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins. And I'm also that one and only Galactic Daddy-O sitting on my galactic patio on Big Eagle Mountain. From Big Eagle Mountain to the universe. Welcome. Tonight's beer is Kalamazoo Stout 6.0 of not really oatmeal stout, more of a chocolatey stout. So pop them if you got them. And we're still smoking on Shatter. So smoke them if you want them. Well, I guess what everybody, I just got home. You know, I was in the city. I watched like the last 2 days. I've had NCAA parties. The last 2 days, my best friend came over Saturday. The family came over last night. So the last 2 days, I've had people over here having parties. So my best friend Tony works, and his daughter was on spring break last weekend. His son and his daughter, they've had, they go to different schools. He's a junior. She's the same age as my daughter. She's in sixth grade, junior high age. But my daughter's on spring break, and so my daughter's off, and my fiance, she has to go in tomorrow. She has to go to St. Paul tomorrow. So, but we so I just thought it was a better idea for us to go to his house. His wife made a big giant spread of like a taco spread. And so we grubbed. We grubbed. My daughter had baton today, so I had to run the baton, take her to baton, sit and chill till she got done because it's really like it's not that far, so it makes really no sense to make it a 20-minute drive there and a 20-minute drive back and then do it again. It makes no sense, if you understand. So sat there, got to reading, and then, came back and we hit the city. So I want to say, Siova, welcome. And yeah, I'm gonna have to email you. I definitely need to email you. Think you can get things going a little faster. Hey, Lorenzo, what's happening? I could have tonight's national champion game. I mean, it was an easy call. Yeah, I think we all agreed once we saw the way they matched up. I think we all saw once the way they matched up, and we see why they got rid of such good teams this year because that wasn't a great team that won. I mean, yes, they won, but it wasn't a great team. Now, we saw some pretty decent teams this year, and we see why they set it up for this team to go through because with any real competition, I don't know. I don't know if this team really on they made it through, and that's all we could say. They made it through, and so overall, the game, what could we really say about it? They I think they carried the 7.5. They gave up 7.5. They got that. Um, um, but yeah, Lorenzo. We got that. We got the 7.5. And the thing that was really, I know it had mugs that the people that picked the under had to be sweating until the end. Because with a minute and some left, it was because the over under was 131. And with a minute and some left, it was like 129, and then it was 129, and they went over. So the over was the bet. So the bet was to take the over, because looking at halftime, halftime it was like, well, would they score 80 points the rest of the game? Because halftime it was 80 points needed, because it was only 50 something for halftime, so it was only like 80 points needed to reach the over and under. So I think they kind of suckered some people on that one. I think tonight they got a few people on that one. But the game itself, I mean, really, as much as the women's game, the refs made a difference. The refs didn't really make a difference. I thought they one thing they did is they kind of got the other big dude in foul trouble, not number 32. They got him in foul trouble instead of the other guy. But then it was like they really didn't. You didn't. The refs really didn't make a big dent in the game. Um, Now, the one thing that you had to notice is how soon UConn was in the bonus, and I guess you could all look that up as being they was in the bonus. You saying the big fellas you had contact, but overall it was they controlled the game easily. We can see now. Did you guys notice when they let them come back by 10? Number 33, no, number 4, the lighter skinned brother on UConn. Did you notice how he gets, so the one dude gets the ball stolen? Remember that when it was up by 10 or 12? So UConn comes down. The one guy, the number 4, gets the ball stolen. Then the next play down, the light skinned dude, the taller light skinned dude with the braids, he just gives the ball to the other team. So now it's down by 8. And I was like, wow. So they are that bad. They are beating them that easy. It was that easy for them to script it where they could just get a ball back to them a couple times and still go. So I think everyone knew it would be a blowout. Well, yeah. They made them all their games by double digits. That they were 7.5 favorites. Those that better would have got easy money. Well, I mean, still it was 110 so it was 110. So I don't know how easy money. I mean, you had to bet 110 to win 100. So that was with the money. If you threw two on it, you threw 210 on it. That's what it would take to win 210 back. So that ESPN predicted that UConn will win it all. Well, they was trying to give all those hints out. They were. But that if you looked at this was weak. I mean, as basketball, it was a pretty weak basketball. That's what I'll have to say. And that was I mean, San Diego State was supposed to be so good defensively, but they was inept. I mean, they really just had nothing to offer. They were way undersized. I even their perimeter defense. But I say in the second half, the one thing that was really mind blowing is that they let what was his number 1 or number 2? He kept like giving the ball away too. So it's like that they had to really globetrotter help him to make it slightly interesting. So, but yeah, they want to give that hints, and those hints are also mockings. Lobo. Those hints are also mockings, and that's it's like they're almost the mockings is almost like they're telling us we're stupid for even betting and not figuring out what they're putting out there because all is revealed, so they got to put so much out there. So it's a big mocking. 10 minutes without a basket in the first half. Yes. They stayed on. Wow. It was like what was the game the other day where they stayed on 40 forever? They stayed. Yeah, because at one point, what's funny is like as we was eating and watching the game, gosh, a commercial came up and we was like trying to remember the score, and it was like they was up by Tony was like, I think they up by 10. I'm like, what? Up by 10? It was just 12 to 18. And sure enough, the commercial came back and we was like, whoa, they was up by 10. So they showed the ability to stop them and score pretty early. Pretty early, I thought. But yeah, 10 minutes. I'm trying to think of that mark when it was. Yeah, it was a good, and that all along that was the question. I tell you, I still like that number 5. I mean, that number 5 when he goes to the NBA, he has a hell of a first step. The guy that won the game the other day against Florida Atlantic, that he played okay today, but his step away from people, his first step, it was a couple moves for that dude. I'm trying to think of the play what he did, but he did one move where he just I don't know. He has an unbelievable first step. His quickness is nice. He did one move in the game, and I was trying to think of what he did, but he's like he did a step, and it just like he left dude so quick, just his natural, just sidestep. I hadn't watched that in a while. I thought that was nice. Speaking of women's national championship game, despite all the hoopla game, got the highest ratings in women's college basketball history. They had 9.9 viewers. Now that, wow. That that gets a hooray for the women. Hooray for the women. Wow. 9.9 million viewers. I'd have never thought. But and that's odd. Remember what we were saying about prime time? Because exactly what I said, the reason why they wasn't prime time was exactly what it showed. It was baseball on last night. And wow, so maybe they knew what they was doing. What was everybody free for yesterday? What was it Sunday afternoon? Why was everybody free? at my time, I think it was what damn, it was 2:30 my time, so 3:30 everywhere else. California 12 and 1 Mountain. Mm. I'd have never guessed that. They knew something that a lot of people was going to be free to watch the game. And I'll say this is the first time I ever gave a Final Four women's party. So, wow, I never not bad for a women's game that wasn't prime time. Absolutely, that blows my mind. Yeah, that really blows my mind. To not be prime time and drawing in those kind of numbers, wow. Well, you know what? The powers that play, as Jody says, they knew something I didn't know by putting that game in the afternoon. Because everybody knew that ESPN was going to put on baseball. And I'll say this. The national championship was free. It ain't been free in a long time. Now, granted, almost everybody has cable, but if you didn't have cable, you still couldn't watch the national championship game. It was straight up on CBS. So TNT, CBS, and all them, they're in cahoots. So I was surprised by that. I was watching NASCAR race yesterday instead. I miss NASCAR. I had people over, and so they all wanted to see the women's game. Matter of fact, Dr. Pam, who was over here, she has family for LSU. So she had the Miami shirt on the other night and she got shamed, and then tonight, last night, her team won. So she was quite pleased. She was quite pleased. I mean, it was a lot of bogus calls. I mean, it was like tonight, and that shows you the difference in the entertainment thought. They knew on the women's game that the referees had to do a lot more work to really help them. Now, this is what they said about a Caitlin. This is what they said about her tech, and still what they said is wrong. They said that there was at the 7 minute mark they called a delay of game warning. Okay, this is what they said. They said the 7 minute mark they called a delay of game warning. So when she threw the ball out of bounds, and this is where she threw the ball backwards, anticipating one of the third refs taking it out there, because that's where they did end up, I think, taking it out. At the most, that play was still delay a game, which is not a personal foul on the player. It is a technical foul second time. That is not the way they did it. They straight up called a technical foul and gave it to the player. That's what they did. And that was horrible. That's a horrible in your face kind of fixing. Because obviously it should not have been a personal tech at all. It should have been a team tech, not a personal foul on her. And okay, look at how it was called tonight. It was called fairly tight because San Diego State was trying to do all that holding, and they quickly got him off, especially in the second half. They tried to put their hands on him a little more, hand checking the guards. They got him off him pretty quick. Now, we didn't see that last night. We didn't see that with the women's. We saw them straight up hand checking, and it was loud the whole game. And they did it the whole game. And as I said last night, if a person is holding me and you're not calling anything, if I elbow him for separation, then nothing should be called. If you're allowing him to hold me, and I'm just like, okay, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, okay, you letting us be physical. That's how, as a player, how ought the job say, okay, and then I hit him with one to get you off me, and then you're going to call foul on me. And that slow motion, they showed it. The girl was holding her before the ref called foul. Up to the point where she hit her, she was being impeded. She was being impeded. And you cannot be impeded when you are the ball carrier. When you're dribbling, you cannot. It's not legal to impede you by hand, by elbow, by body, and that's what we saw. And so again, we saw agenda calls today. I can't. It was such a lackluster game. I don't know. Not a lot I can say. Hey, researcher 222, what's happening? Sue Bird and Steph's commercials kind of foretold the men's Final Four. Sue Bird from UConn and Tabit, Brianna Stewart, Coca-Cola commercial. Okay. I see that a little bit. Just remember, WrestleMania was last night. That's why the game was so early. Ah, okay. And what is this? Vince McMahon? They're taking another. What did I catch? They're taking WWE is absorbing into something else, and big Vince McMahon is still kind of got his hand in something. So, well, that could have been a good point too that I did not know. It was Daryl. Thank you for joining. Lobo, as always. Yeah, it was very boring and it was predictable. Nothing exciting about it. Nothing to be uproar. Nothing to talk about tomorrow. And that's generally what they don't like. They like this thing to live a couple more days. That's why they invent troubles. Like they tried to invent the static between saying the one girl did the sign, and I mean this is all invented controversy. That's all. It's just invented controversy. Let me see. More blue. That's a little better. That's a little better. It was yeah, UFC and WWE are becoming sports entertainment company. Okay. Did anybody catch this? Bronny James was the top NIL person at 7 million. Bronny James made $7 million in NIL money. And please, I didn't. The list is somewhere. I got the list somewhere of who the top ones was. What's his name? Primetime Son made $1 million. Primetime Son made like 1.2 million. None of them was women. None of the top 10 was female athletes. Not even the Florida sisters, the sisters at Miami. I don't think they were in the top 10 money making. Not sure how much they made, but they weren't in this list, I don't think. But yeah, Bronny James, them 3 commercials he made, 7 million. And that's generational wealth. That's generational wealth. The men's national championship game was lackluster, I guess because people knew the champion was going to be. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't even know. Let me see if I can find the list. I ran across that. What was it? What? Let me see if I can find it. I don't know where I put it. Let me see. This? Yeah, it wasn't that. I had that list, and I don't know. I guess I could search it, but I don't really feel like searching it. I mean, you can search that shit yourself. I just got Bronny. And let me say this. I don't know if Bronny is really going to Penn State or not. It is not on any of the ESPN or national searches. I found it. I forgot where I found it last night, so I could be wrong. Could be wrong. We haven't. There's no. When I looked it up again, there's nothing on their site. Nothing on his sports media, his media, social media about him going to Penn State. So maybe that was April Fool's joke. I don't know. But yeah, oh, you caught it, Daryl. Okay, yeah, 7 million. This is what's going to happen. And if I was Bronny, I would go to Penn State or somewhere like that. The deals that the college boys are gonna, the college young men and women, but mostly the college men. Bronny sits in a position where I would say, okay, you give me, I just made 7 in 1 year. All right, I just made 7 in 1 year. So I am good. I'm going to probably make 5 to 7 every year that I'm here with you, which is going to bring more endorsements. I'm gonna get a little bit of you put my name on jerseys. I'm gonna sell my own Penn State stuff too. But so I would pretty much comfortably say if Brownie went in there and said I want a 3-year deal for 5 million a year. Now we know the quarterback, the 4-star quarterback out of Pennsylvania, that's what the deal he damn near got in Florida. It was almost 3 million a year. It was 14 million. That's the deal that fell apart. Brownie could probably get that. Now, do they want to waste 3 years in college? For him, and the goal is him to play with his dad, maybe not. But if you think that right now, wherever he goes, that bargaining chip is going to be at least that much. Now they're trying to say that the boosters can't give up that money. Well, the boosters can't meet directly with them. They can just send people at you. So, uh, are you talking about? Yeah, Sheldon Sanders. Yeah, the son is the quarterback. It said he made like 1.5. He was at the low end. I forget who number 2 was, and it was quite a big difference from Bronny because the next person. Well, you guys saw it too. The next person was quite a bit lower than Bronny, and so they did good business deals, and that's generational wealth. I mean, you gotta admire that. You gotta say, okay, he did a little more. I mean, think about it like this. Think about what Dwayne Wayne had to do to get his son that commercial. You understand? And I'm not throwing shade on anybody, but I'm saying look at the deal Dwayne Wade got his son and the way he's presented. Now look at the way that Bronny James is presented. See the big difference? and he gets to play ball. And I've said this before, and I don't know if this is reality blend. A couple nights I kept getting hit by a reality where Magic Johnson's son, because remember this dude 6'6", 6'7", where he was playing ball, like really Jordan level playing ball. And I really, sometimes this stuff comes in and I try to ignore this stuff. But this kept coming. So I was like, okay, I'll take the bait. And this dude was that dude. Like, really that dude. I know looking at him, what happened to him, but it's like in another reality, he was really like just as good as his dad. So that's why the attack in this reality was so strong against him. But I mean, look, look at the difference. What he was able to do for his son. And his son still got all that respect at 6'3". I don't even think he was California Player of the Year, but he made McDonald All-American. It becomes politics. Politics become evolved. So did you think really that he wasn't going to be in the McDonald All-Star game, even though they didn't win state? Like, Nike is doing, Nike has their own All-Star game that's going to be televised. So that's coming up too. For you basketball lovers and sports lovers. Let's see. Are you talking about, let me see, Angel Reese? She got an NIA deal. I think she has one with Coach because she gives her teammates bags. Could be. I remember Bryce Young got a big NID a few years ago with Bama. Yeah, but Lobo, he only got $1 million. He got $1 million. He was in a Dr. Pepper commercial. And he got $1 million. Yeah, he got $1 million. Hey, Liquid Fire, thank you for joining. But yeah, he got $1 million for that commercial. Now I wonder what the boy got from AT&T, the boy from Kentucky, the young man from Kentucky. I wonder what he got. Wonder what kind of deal he got. Because he's in the NCAA with the Lily. He was there, so he got probably a nice little amount. And I'm sorry I didn't keep the list. I was just I don't even know. I was searching some stuff and came across it. So I should have copied it so I could have had content to put up on the board and let y'all check it out. But it should be pretty easy to find. Y'all can just look up top NIL people. It was 4 million. 4 million. No, I didn't hear that. I did not hear that. Because maybe I heard because he's in. Let me back that up. He was in 2. He was in 2 commercials. He was in bits of 2, I think. That's better. So 4. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that it was 4. I heard it was 1. But you could be right, or we could be right in the middle. Either one. Because he did get parts. Yeah, he was in parts of 2. Was he in parts of 1 or was he in parts of 2? Or was that 1 last year and 1 this year? I was trying to remember. But you could be right. I thought it was $1 million. Because I know when his coach was bitching, he was damn near getting as much as dude was getting. So dude was bitching. And then they can't control. Caleb Williams definitely the next big name quarterback they pushing. Okay. Caleb Williams, okay. Mickey Williams, the second, deals with 4.3. Okay. His second deal. And Bryce James got 1.2. Wow. I didn't even know he was in commercials. I have not even seen Bryce. Is Bryce in that last commercial? Because Bryce ain't in the new LeBron 20s. Ooh, and they already show pictures for them LeBron 21s. Ooh. It was funny, I look at shoes and, the performance of shoes and dudes pick. Did you know, like, the guard from UConn that kept getting ripped, he was wearing Kyrie's. It was interesting. He was wearing Kyrie's. The big fella from San Diego State was wearing 36s. He was wearing Jordan 36s. I thought, but do you know it was a big win for Nike and Team Jordan? Big win. Both Nike and Team Jordan faced off at each other, and every shoe was Nike or Team Jordan. So big win for them. Mickey Williams was 3.3. Oh, okay. UConn now, okay, Lorenzo says UConn is now tied for 4th in the national championships with Duke and Indiana. They all have 5 each. How ironic, because Bobby Knight has been in the hospital. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. That is outstanding work. Outstanding. That is outstanding. Yeah, Bobby Knight is 82 years old and in the hospital at this time. And I was definitely thinking the same things like, oh my goodness, they're sacrificing him. And remember, Kevin Ollie got his dough. Remember, Kevin Ollie won his dough against them too, because he sued him for 11 million. They tried to stiff him on, and he got his money. He got his dough from him. And so it was kind of, I'm not saying it's petty, but I think it was proven in court he shouldn't have really been fired. And he won that one national championship with him. So, talking about Jordan Hawkins from UConn. Yeah, he was wearing, he was just wearing Kyrie's. Because I was, I just kind of just love shoes, and I was like, wow, what are those? And it was like, oh, okay. At the end of the game, I was like, oh, those Kyrie's. It finally hit me because I was trying to think of and it's just interesting what dudes feel comfortable playing in. People that people that really can afford the best what they figure what works for them. It's funny to see because Ghana's shoes are affordable. Now his shoes have probably a little more performance than the regular ones, but his shoes are you can always find Ghana shoes at the outlets. You can always find them; they cheaper. But the people that can afford any shoe, it's interesting what they wear. It's interesting what they wear. Uh, DJ Wagner has a 690 million deal. Well, you got to give us more than that. Oh, here's my main man from Japan. What's happening? Geometry Effects Sports. Okay, wait a minute. You're saying DJ Wagner has a $690 million NIE deal. You got to break that down. You're gonna have to break that down because that's just not believable. That is not believable. Yeah, that does not seem believable. Like how? How did he generate that much advertisement? Who's paying that? Who's going to pay that? There's got to be somebody out there that's going to pay that. So I don't know. I don't know about that one. Let me see Geometry Effect Sports. UConn's 12th season, UConn outscored opponent in tournament 120 points, and the whole thing was synced with Talibet. Hashim Talibet equals 120. Wow, good work. UConn has 36 at the half, and that's how old Talibet was. Wow. Yeah, because as I was saying, that's what we were looking at halftime, where they gonna make the over and under at what was it, 36 to? It was only 50 something. It was like 80 points. It was like they had to really get 80 points. So the under looked good. They suckered a lot of people. The under looked good. I found out tonight that he and Andrews are cousins. Oh, okay, okay. Jordan Hawkins. Yeah. That he and Angel. Oh, okay. Well, good work, fellas. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all that good work. But yeah, who's giving him this 690 million? I want to know who's giving him that because you talking about it more than almost a billion. Who's giving him that? Jay Billis had Arizona versus UConn at the beginning of the year. Wow. UConn became the second team to win as a 4 seed. Arizona was the only 4 seed to win before UConn. Yeah, I was peeping some of that, but Jay Billis got it, huh? But he put Arizona in there. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. And the Big East does not give as much pub as they used to. And so, to follow a team like that, not a lot of people really would have followed them like that as that they're not the sexy, the Big East is not the sexy team anymore. Well, we got to find it. You got to show me where. Daryl, you got to tell me who's paying that money. Who is the advertisement that made that deal with him? Because what's interesting about him is, that's Milt Wagner's grandson. His dad played college and maybe a little bit of pro ball too. Yeah, his dad scored what? What did the Wagner Jr. score? He scored 100 points in a high school game, didn't he? I think he scored 100 or 90 points in a high school game, something like that. His dad was a good player. His granddad won his grandfather won a national championship, Milt Wagner. He played with Scooter and Rodney McCray. at Louisville with Dr. Duncanstein, and they used to call the other cat Never Nervous Purvis. Do y'all remember Never Nervous Purvis? Y'all remember that, brother? They was all Louisville guys. But Dr. Duncanstein, he had a 38-inch vertical at about what, 6'1", 6'2". A little bit of that David Thompson stuff. Y'all remember him? Ended up he played for Utah most of his career. Average player, not a great player, but average player, still made it. It was a typo. I meant 690,000. Okay, not quite a million. Okay, that makes sense. He got a 690,000 deal. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, that makes more sense there. I can dig that. That makes more sense there. I was thinking, whoa, that's a lot to do. Okay, I'm misspeaking. You know, I got dyslexia, so it takes a while. It takes a while for the numbers and all that to kind of sink in. Bluetooth. Oh, okay. It's all, yeah, it's working. It's doing what it's supposed to do. So not a lot to say. You know, when we have a game like that tonight, it's not a lot to say. UConn wins 84th tournament, 84 days after Connecticut State birthday, and coach becomes 8-4 in tournament. I did not know that. Like I told you, they took down the Nets in Ionia game just before scoring 84th points. Wow. Just before scoring the 84 points. Wow. So once again, the numbers all match up of how and the why and the language, the language that they have to put out there because all is revealed. And so and I guess we can look at it like this too, because it's like so many. Yeah, it's like okay, it's like this. Even though UConn, so from this is how like what he just broke down. This is the other aspect to what he just broke down. All those things that touch the numbers, all those hints that touch the numbers. I mean, this gives out energy if you understand. So all these things that these numbers touch, it's an energy it's an energy feed like to certain. I don't even know if I can push it out the way I want to push it out. But it feeds all these things too. Like everything he's pointing out, it feeds these things too. These things are all fed. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. It's like they give all these hints, and all these things line up, but it feeds everything. If you understand what that energy is, as it touches all these different things that line up to it, it feeds all these different things too by winning. So, yeah, thank you for motivating me to think about that. Drinking all this beer, knowing I got to go pee. I'm an old dude. Uh, Energy equals gematria equals English. Once they took the schools that have basketball and football programs out of that conference and put them in the ACC, the Big East fell off. It kind of did. It kind of did. I agree. It kind of did fall off. I agree. I agree. It's like I was saying, when we look at like energy, we was talking about energy, and I talk about energy all the time. And you have all these people talking about they want electric cars. Now, one entity loves that. There's an entity that does not mind electric cars because again, all it cares about is being that the road that cars move across the road. That's how certain entities feed. But you already know there's entities and there's beings on this planet that feed off gas and petrol. Whatever that burns in the air, they breathe off this. They eat this. So if you really think these gasoline engines is going to go away, I was thinking about that earlier. There's a war with that. Because there are certain beings that need this environment that's spewed, that they've terraformed so they can survive whatever it is. It's terraformed. All this pollution and polluting the water. There's certain things that can eat off all this. So there's an energy out there that's like, hey, these cars are gonna be here forever because I need to eat off that. I can't eat it in the raw form. You need to burn it off. I mean, remember when you look at the movie Jupiter's Rising, when they're going on that one planet, like the volcano-like planet where you see in there where they grow the humans, and eat off the humans, and this is where they feed off them. That planet shows you What it's trying to show you is this beings that live off a lot of our filth, a lot of this pollution. They need this atmosphere. So that had kind of came to me the other day, but that's, it's nothing new. I've said this before. Ah, so it's interesting when they start doing things to shake up entities because they have an entity behind them. So we'll see how this war plays out. We'll see. So like not a lot to say for far as my impression on the way the game was handled. It's not a lot to say. The Big East was a basketball only conference in that, but you didn't have the original schools and rivalries and like there anymore, like Syracuse or Georgetown. And was really like Georgetown is really sad because Pat. I mean, I said this the other night. It's really hard. It's really hard coaching. Well, coaching, playing, it is a good old boy network. And these 30 and 40 years, like you look at Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, they've been in the NBA 40 years. These men are both in their 60s and they both been in the NBA since they was like 19, 20 years old. And they're still in the NBA, basically. So there's all these relationships. But one thing about coaching is, and that's one thing the Air movie shows with Sonny Vaccaro, a little bit of that Adam Sandler movie. They kind of, and Adam Sandler movies a little before where he was going to all these different, places recruiting these European players. So when Pat Ewing not having that high school connection as deep, other than when his son played in the AAU work he did. And to me, like when my son was playing, that's when I would have really, if I thought I was going to coach college one day, to me, I would have really started trying to recruit like then. Really being heavily involved in the AAU, heavily involved in meeting parents, meeting these coaches. And it just doesn't feel, I just don't, it just doesn't feel like he did that to me. Now, yes, the conference is a lot weaker. They ain't won in a long time. And so he's probably getting 3 recruits. He got the one young boy that won the dunk contest, but he transferred out because he didn't put the ball in his hand. He got a guy the next year and put the ball in his hand. I can't think of the other guy they did. And that guy was hardly playing. So it was interesting that Pat got him there, that he went to Georgetown in the first place. But the NBA play-in games are next week. Then the playoffs. Yep, the play-in games come on. So we're going to see with a long road for some people and the people that go on vacation. Isaiah Thomas and Magic have deep roots in college basketball. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I want to get this name right. What did I call him? What did I call this cat? I don't know if y'all remember this. Oh, man, I was telling Tony and now I don't remember. Was it? No, I'm getting the first name wrong. It's not Eldon Turner. Oh, what was the cat's name? I'm sorry. Anyway, now maybe I got the story wrong when I told Tony because I think this dude did win the national championship. Yeah, this dude did win the national championship. So when Isaiah was a freshman, there was a guy that I think came in. I think he's my age because Isaiah's my age. It wasn't Eldon Turner. It was something Turner. So they played together first year. This dude was 6'10 or 6'11. He was definitely going to be a first round pick. This guy helped him win the title. He played in the title game. I said earlier that he didn't. He got hurt, but no, he played in the title game. Was it Eldon Turner? But this guy was 6'10, 6'11, broke his neck. They win the national championship. In a car accident, he breaks his neck. And I only bring that up because they were showing some wheelchair basketball. They showed a little wheelchair basketball, one of the UConn players. It made me think of that dude from Indiana that played with Isaiah because he ended up playing a lot of wheelchair basketball. Can't quite remember his name. Yeah, Pat should have been. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Pat would have fit better being, again, if you don't have these parent connections and these high school coach connections, but parent connections and high school coach connections. Yeah, I thought Pat would have been well suited for pro. He did the groundwork. Another dude that got overlooked was Bob McAdoo too. Bob McAdoo was, but when after he won with the Lakers, he was on some of them Lakers staffs. He was on the LeBrons and them staff. Howard got one, I think, and Bob McAdoo got one with the Heat. and never got a head coaching job. So it makes you wonder what was it about these dudes that they couldn't get head coaching jobs, but you jumpstart and you make these dudes who start as video editors like Spolstra in Miami, a video editor. Do you know how many video editors make pro coaches? Seems to be like a way for dudes that. So I don't know. There was a lot of blackballing of coaches. Bob McAdoo should have got a head coaching job in the NBA as well as Patrick Ewing. So Landon Turner, yes. Thank you, Daryl. Yep, Landon Turner was his name. He was 6'10 or 6'11 they could go. He was going to be a top pick, and he broke his neck. He broke his neck in a car accident. And as I mentioned, he played wheelchair volleyball or basketball. Yes, thank you very much. Landon Turner. Yep. I don't even know what made me think about that dude earlier. I don't even know. All right, just wanted to drop by. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming by, showing your support. You know I show support. I'm gonna have. I'm pretty sure I am subscribed to you, but if not, I'll double check. But thank you for coming. I appreciate. I thank you. Appreciate it for coming by, giving that information out. I always appreciate it because everybody knows that I try to. Now I was gone tonight, so I saw that Nick and Erica and AM1 was on, and I'm sorry I didn't join, but I was out of town, away from my house. Not really. I'm still in the Twin Cities. Twin Cities. Anytime I'm in the Twin Cities, I ain't really out of town. I'm in town, but I wasn't home, so I have to go back and listen to them, and so they know anytime they're on, if I'm able and I'm free, I watch everybody. I watch everybody. I try to watch every little bit of everybody that I'm subscribed to. So I appreciate somebody coming and Lobo came in too, and I appreciate that. So if I'm free, I try to watch. I'm a YouTube addict. Gosh, and I had a story, but I can't find it. But so and what the story was is right now we are again the policing in Minneapolis is going to change. And again, they're not going to be able to stop cars like they used to. Not frivolous stops are not going to be allowed. They have to be clearly identified, camera on. So it looks like stops other than speeding and drunk driving that's going to be all left. Now, what I was looking for is there's some people to object to this. They object, and they are trying to. Let me see. They are trying to hold this up. So I wanted to show this and I had lost it. I wanted to know why they object to it. I wanted to hear a different appeal. Because, I mean, there was really a big push here from Floyd. The police really pushed and said, okay, you want to dismantle us, then we're not going to do our job. And as I said before, the only people that really suffered was the melanated in the poorer areas. Because the wealthy people in this area, they did not suffer in any police in any way, shape, or form. Matter of fact, they put barriers up because where Floyd happened, it's $1 million homes within a mile. I'm going to say that again. Where Floyd happened, about a mile down the road, it's $1 million homes. So you understand, they didn't get to none of that. They went, well, maybe a mile and a half. Lake Harriet ain't that. Now, I'd say a mile because from Floyd on Chicago to Lake Harriet ain't that far. And that's only about a mile apart. That's only about a mile. Now, maybe a mile and a half at the most, but it's on the same street technically. And none of them suffer from policing. None of them suffer from policing. So I didn't hear this. So I want to hear. I've never been to Twin Cities, but it seems like you out of town once you move there, but you stay there long enough, like you won't feel like you're out of town. Well, I mean, everywhere you got to drive. It's just here we're highways. Like with brakes, we don't be it like very few places you have to drive with a lot of lights. Now, if you live on the north side, even then, it's like you hit 100, you hit 169, you're always on the highway. So cars up here probably don't suffer from brakes because we don't do all that stopping. Even on the north side, there's only so many lights. You go on the south side, even Lake Street, it's only so many lights. It ain't a lot. Like where I live, especially here in the southern suburbs, it ain't a lot of stoplights. It's highway. Like where the mall is, this little road you go forever, and then there's the mall. So, like even going from, like I said, 40. I live off of 42. Going 42, you drive. It's. I dare say you drive 5 miles, and it's probably less than 10 lights in this 5 miles. Because to get to the casino, I live about 5 miles, maybe 8 miles now from the casino, and I bet it's not a. I bet it's less than 10 lights. So not a lot of. It's the same way in my neck of the woods. Okay, yeah, yeah. It's nothing but highways up here. So yeah, people get their brakes fixed, but I know in my old car, I needed brakes, but I wasn't around streets where I had to do brakes often. So if you live on country roads, you ain't braking all the time. Your brakes last longer. Where is this? I wanted to hear why they objected to it. But that goes back to what I was saying about Lake Harriet. They put a wall up. They wasn't going to do any burning or any looting up there. They wasn't going to make it up that far. That's when they started bringing in, they started bringing in the National Guard and stuff. Yeah, must just be so far in my feed that it's. Let's see. What'd she say? Oh no, 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 no. I don't know. It must be too far. Let me see. Maybe I can look it up over here. WCCO. Let's see. Right here, right here. Huh. Okay. Where's it at? Ah, okay. I have not heard this, so I do not know what they're going to say. But let's see here. Okay, I'll wait for the commercial to end. Skip. All right, here we go.
Minnesota Department of Human Rights.
Members of the Unity Community Mediation Team believe the city and MPD did not and do not agree with the findings. They also say signing the agreement gives up all rights to sue police for past and future wrongdoings. Here's WCCO's Reg Chapman.
Saying that we would ask for a halt on this consent decree until community members actually get a chance to get their full input into it.
The Minnesota Department of Human Rights probe into past practices of Minneapolis police proved the department engaged in racial bias policing. This agreement signed Friday presents a path forward in transforming the department.
The settlement agreement states the city and Minneapolis Police Department did not and do not admit or agree with the Minnesota Department of Human Rights findings. That is neither transparency, it's not accountability, nor the consequences that this community demands.
Members of the Unity Community Mediation Team call the agreement totally inadequate.
Because the police within that document on the release of claims gets to ensure that their wrongdoings that they've done to us, that they've done to the community, they don't have to admit to that fault.
They're referring to the release of claim statement in the agreement, one the city attorney says is standard.
The legal agreement, again, we don't have to admit to all findings. And in fact, it's a typical term of a settlement agreement that
We don't have to agree to all findings. Damn. Or what does the over say? Come on, let's go. Let's hear it.
that there is not an admission of liability.
I ask our community to ask those very questions. Go and look at the release of claim.
Okay, look at this symbolism. Agent. Agent. Now, it might be Fred Hampton, but that agent. Okay, let's go.
Look at what they are asking us to give up as community members who suffered this abuse and who suffered this pain.
For now, more questions.
We've got the You know, American Indians too. We've got the Lakotas. This is Lakota people right here. This is Willie the Wino. You know, I don't know why he there. And then that's Amos Strong. I don't know why he there. This lady represents Hmong. That's what I'm guessing. But yeah, I remember he used to shoot dice in the alleyway, and yeah, that's Willie the Wino right there. Now look, the one-eye symbolism.
And answers, and until they have what they need, they want the implementation of this agreement put on hold.
This settlement agreement slams the door in the face of our communities for true justice, and our communities will not allow avenues of true
She can get it, y'all. Come on, she can get it. I hope I run into her, say hello. Nice to meet y'all. Turn her on to my sons.
justice to be taken away.
Reg Chapman, WCCO 4 News.
Ah, there it is. I was trying to find that crap earlier. Yeah. You know, I'm just having fun. I am just having fun, y'all. Just having fun. We got that 1 to 2. Other than it's nothing highways. we got 1 through 10. Other than that, it's nothing but highways. Yeah. Yep. So I was wondering what they was tripping over, because they're saying it's not enough. They're saying it's not enough. They're saying that they feel betrayed if they do this. I don't know. I'm loving WCCO. Let me see what they say here, y'all.
Listen, there's a
shut the commercials off. Okay, it says check this out. It says WCCO cameras capture flagrant drug use on Metric Trans Rail. I say yes. I want to hear about this.
Let's look at what longtime riders say has gotten out of control. A warning, some of what you're about to see may be hard to watch.
Smoking is not allowed on board. If my taxpayers are paying money for this stuff, then it should be safe. I went.
Damn, they got drugs around the babies. Take the drugs away from the babies.
Bring any young kids on here.
How would you characterize the state of the light rail right now?
We know we're not where we want to be.
Metro Transit has a problem.
What are you doing?
What's happening on their trains is making some people reluctant to buy a ticket.
We wanted to ride the light rail ourselves to find out what it's really like. It only took a few hours.
Come on, guys. He looks like a weirdo. He looks like that dude used to play on Mad TV. Remember that dude? He looked like the Mad TV dude. But let's go.
One afternoon to see a good amount of dangerous activity.
We encountered what appeared to be open drug.
Damn, he just blazing. He got his rocks and he is blazing. He could have crystal meth. He could have crack. He just like blazing. But he got on new clothes. And look at his Captain America bag. That's where he keeps his crack. Okay, let's go.
Drug use.
Attention, please.
Conversations and exchanges that looked like drug deals.
Hey!
On the platforms, too, more apparent drug use often
on the platforms outside? So you can go to where the trains are and go on the platforms and just get it on.
Hidden behind jackets or blankets. Drug paraphernalia is easy to find on trains and platforms.
Why would you touch that?
We took these videos on both the blue and green lines.
What is that you have?
From St. Paul to the Mall of America, then showed them to Metro Transit.
I know we're talking about it, but to see it like that, what do you think of that video?
Okay, it'd be cops on these motherfucking trains. Let's stop fronting. It'd be cops on these motherfuckers. The cops have their own. Our train department and our buses have their own cops. We have park police. We have whatever it's called, the Metro Transportation Police, and then we got the city police. Let's go.
That's hard to watch, of course. And it's a hard environment to work in, and it's a hard environment for our customers to ride in and feel safe in. We acknowledge all of that. These are very serious.
I don't know. It's like if I was driving the train, look back and they was getting high, I would put the train in park and go get high with a little bit with them for a little while, and then I would run back up and drive the train. I mean, hell. party for everybody.
Issues.
So what is Metro Transit focusing on to fix this?
Getting a better presence on transit, meaning more police officers out there on the street and in the train cars, on the platforms.
Maintaining that presence has been a challenge, though. There are 108 officers right now, down from the budgeted 171.
We don't know that everybody's going to see an officer every time they ride. We don't have enough police officers to make that possible.
There are more.
Okay, that's BS. Okay, that's BS. That is that why we don't have enough money. You don't like police. They have more than enough police to cover all these trains. All right. Let me tell you, the trains only go to Forest Lake, which is about an hour away. They go from downtown Minneapolis to the Mall of America, and they go to St. Paul. Okay? That's all. It ain't like these trains go anywhere else. These are straight shots. Where they just showed you where it goes out to the Mall of America, that is a straight shot. If one cop rides he rides all the way to the Mall of America to the airport, and he can ride all the way back. Now, don't tell me you cannot put one cop to do that 3-4 hours. I know better. That's just plain silly talk.
More than 1,000 live cameras watching everything, ready to be reacted to.
What good is cameras when they getting high? You ain't stopping it right. Hey, we see you getting high there. Hey, what good is the cameras when you get high?
Is this being sold on the light rail?
And a Metro Transit memo this month reminded employees, due to a recent rise in overdoses, staff shouldn't assume people who appear to be.
Now, let me say this, what they did do. Because of the airport, they had the trains going from downtown Minneapolis. They had the trains going from downtown Minneapolis to the Mall of America, downtown Minneapolis, Mall of America Airport, because they're right there together. They had that continuously. And what they started doing is they started shutting it down for like 4 or 5 hours because people was living on there. People would just stay on that shit all the time. And so that was their way of making them stop, was shutting them down.
This mistake is costing Amazon.
All right, I lost it. That was the bull BS.
More than 30,000 people ride the line.
Nobody cares about that. Okay. There we go. Oh, you guys want to hear a sad story? Does anybody want to be sad? What is this? CCO, you ain't that exciting, so that's what's happening now. Well, guys, I am going to take a quick bathroom break. So give me 2 minutes because I'm an old man and it takes me a long time to pee. But I can leave you a little something. Oh, let's do that. Leave you with a little something. All right. Let's see how I do this. See here. Saturday, I'm going in there getting a case for the week. And I just asked him to give me an application. So he gave it to me. Again, I didn't need the job. I just wanted to learn how to do what they do. So I took his application, I balled it in my back pocket and put it in there. And I thought back later how he looked at it. So when I turned it in, it's like I never got a chance to learn how to brew beer through him. So I turned my application. He remembered because, again, I didn't need the job. I just wanted to learn how to do the business. My second story of Bell Brewery is I was doing forklift somewhere, and I worked with one of my buddies. The company was kind of dying, going out of business, but they were still trying to get this last little money out of their product. So me and him was kicking it, and he was like, how do you operate this? So I put him on it and showed him how to operate it. Saw him years later. He works for Bell Beer. He works for them, and because they're actually located in Comstock, not Kalamazoo. So my boy Roscoe. So first thing first, what do you think about that race baiting women's national championship? Yeah, it was all that. If you really looked at South Carolina against Iowa, What do you think you were seeing? You were seeing that same thing. But as I called it earlier, if you missed you must miss my earlier show. As I called it earlier, the referees were the deciding factor in that game. I mean, the way they ref the game from beginning to end dictated the way the game was played. Because from early on, it was pretty much, you could see that all touch fouls was going to be called against Iowa. Their big girl, all them fouls was touch fouls. And we saw that the way Catlin was going to be guarded. Hand checking was going to be allowed. And what did we see? She was able to be hand checked, but if she disengaged from that hand check, they called the foul on her. You can't put your hand on anybody in college. That's a foul. Now, I'll tell you how it's even evolved. When they took away the hand check in the high school, college, they were saying you could do this. You could just put that. All right, I'm back. Thank you for letting me have that bathroom break. Drinking all this beer, old dude. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, there we go. Let me see. Invest in America. How long is this video? Let's see. How long is this? Chief O'Hara discusses future of policing. It's interesting. 6 minutes, I don't know. It's interesting. Minnesota residents and judge, oh, blah, blah, blah. Another one, this policing thing. They did a new chief. Oh, excuse me. Gosh. So yeah, I didn't have a whole lot tonight. The game was kind of like anticlimactic. And remember this for the players, even the guys who lost, they get rings. Because if you remember, anybody remembers old games, if you watch the end, they always give a rings to the losing team. I don't know if y'all remember that. Years past, they all get boxes. The losers get runner-up rings. The other two teams get participant rings, Final Four rings. And they get the Final Four banner. So it's a win. Win or lose, you win. Like when Rosie Perez said, the men cannot jump. Sometimes when you lose, you really win. Sometimes when you win, you really lose. Sometimes when you lose, you tie. So, I mean, but that's really how it is. This is considered successful, that you took your team to the Final Four. For a coach, that is considered career success. So, I had to do the same thing. Only difference was mine ain't come from drinking, mine from eating. UConn, let's go. Never take the jab. Yeah, thank you for joining. So, how long I've been going? An hour. Okay, I don't know if I'm enthusiastic. But they got all the calls. Who got the calls? I don't know if there was any calls to get. Now, the only time the referees really called it closer was in the second half. In the second half, they did start calling it close. And what you have to understand is at the 13-minute mark, the referees really made a mistake because they gave 1-and-1 when it was their seventh foul. They called a shooting foul 1-and-1. When at the 13-minute mark, it was clearly a shooting foul, and he missed, and he missed the first one of the 1-on-1. Do you know? Let me tell you how. Okay, do you guys think he really missed that dunk in the beginning of the game? Do you really think he missed that dunk? How many layups did y'all remember? Do you understand? Okay, how many layups did UConn miss in the second half? Do you remember the possessions where they was having 3 or 4 offensive rebounds and they was missing 3 or 4 shots at a time? It was, what was it, 7? It was 7 times in a row where they came down and they missed layups. They missed layups. If they would have made half them layups, they would have blew them out by 20. Do you remember that part of the game where they weren't shooting any threes and they were missing layups? So there was a part of the game, second half, they could be rigged as the other's way if they wanted it to. So that was where they went into 1-on-1. They went into 1-on-1 right there at 13-minute mark. Now, San Diego State didn't get 1-on-1 until what was the 5-minute mark. It was a 5-minute mark before they did 1-on-1. So that was kind of, but on the other hand, you looked at, like if you looked at the one pause I had is when number 33 or 32, the bigger dude from UConn, the European bigger guy, they started like the first foul on him wasn't a foul, and then he blocked the shot. He blocked the shot. Do y'all remember the play where the big European dude for UConn, he blocked the dude's shot twice and they called foul. He didn't foul him. He blocked the shot with his arm and then he blocked it like this and they called foul on him. Do y'all remember that? He blocked the shot with his arm. And then he put his arm, he blocked his shot with his elbow. And then he put his arm up and blocked the shot too. And they called a foul. It was like both of them was clean. When he blocked the shot with his elbow, it was clean. Or with his arm, it was clean. When he blocked it with his hand, it was clean. Y'all remember that play? It's the same way in college football. When teams make it to these games, win or lose, the schools get that bowl money. Exactly. Every game is $1 million plus. Every game your school wins is $1 million plus. I mean, it's high school admissions. Oh, that school won. I want to go to school there now. I mean, it's so much free publicity for schools. So it's definitely an overall triple win. And they really didn't have to script it that bad because they knew the teams there, and I'm on wax. You can take me back a week ago when we looked at the 4 teams. I was like, this is setting up for UConn because they don't like new teams winning. And we only have what? Baylor, last 10 years. What do we got? Baylor? What's the other one? They don't like new teams winning. Look at the history of the NCAA. Like we know that Texas, El Paso, Texas Western or Texas El Paso, they'll never win it again. Loyola, who every now and then does runs, they won a national championship. Cincinnati won a national championship before. I mean, you can look at the list of who all's won it and who won't win it again, probably. So it's, even when you, as I said, even when you lose, you win. So there was no losers in this tournament. Knew I should have brought up water, but my hands was full when I came up here. So yeah, there's no losers. The national prestige you get, win or lose. Like, think of, like they was talking about before the game, the guy the number 5, that guard who won the game, and forgive me for not knowing his name, but he was saying, how many people called him for hitting that shot? You think that's going to be forgotten that he hit that big shot to put his team in the championship game? That ain't never going away. Despite them losing, him hitting that big shot to put him there ain't going away. That's history. That's going to always be there. So even when you lose, you still win. So Jordan Hawkins missed that dunk on purpose. Had he made a dunk, he would have brought the house down. That was a fresh dunk, just missed it on purpose. Yeah, he threw it off the back, or they made him miss it. I kind of thought that too, that they made him miss it because the magnetics can make him miss it. That's what I was trying to point to. Look at all the layups they missed in the whole game, but specifically in the second half. In the beginning of the second half, they were dominating the boards. Every time down, if they missed, they was getting 2 or 3 shots, and they was missing all of them. That was UConn's second half. They missed the most layups of any game I can ever think I watched. They missed so many layups. And so when you missing layups like that, and then when they was letting them make threes, it was easy for them to win. Easy. Carrie, how are you? It's going good. So that to me made me think that I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, they've got control of this. If you can miss, if you getting the rebound, you getting 3 offensive rebounds, you getting 3 shots, and you missing them, and everybody's still hustling back on defense. And that was the difference. Also, they never got discouraged. Even though they was missing them shots, the whole team was hustling back and setting up. So So I thought, okay, good. Yeah. So that was I was thinking, and all this stuff about with the sister making the hand gesture, that was nothing. That's just trying to make something out of nothing. As we talked before, they try to make these things live, and they don't really live. They want to make them live, and they don't really live. So that's all. That's all. Never seen a team that. What is it? Let me see up here. Did you just right before the half called at 0.5 point? But the best part, what? Did you see right before the half they called it 0.5 a point? But the best part was right at the end of the first half. He missed 3 layups and rolled under and hit it. Not to mention it. Did you guys catch? Check this out. And the refs even the announcers even said it. Remember they did that timeout and they put 3.5 on the clock. Do y'all remember that? They called a timeout and they went over there and they made them put 3.5 left for possession for, I think it was UConn. And soon as the ball was put in play, the clock went to 20. It was supposed to be 3.5 left. And soon as they blew the whistle and gave the ball to the team, it went right to 20. Did y'all catch that? It went right to 20. It was supposed to be 3.5 seconds left. And the refs even caught it. I mean, the announcers even caught it. So I thought that was interesting. You're the Skull and Bones. There you go. 4 points in the last 3.4. 4 points in the last almost 4 minutes of the first half. Clean as day. They're using technology to ensure it's literally 100% guaranteed. Well, they weren't very good either. I mean, sometimes mid-majors ain't good as majors. That's just the reality. They're not big on these schools from mid-major conferences winning it. Right. UConn from the Big East, and they've won it before. They're not in a Power 5 football perspective, but the Big East is a 6-power conference. Again, the history of winning it all. And the history that goes into what really is the Big East and what it used to be. I'll tell you, anybody's ball handlers out there, go back and watch Pearl Washington. Let me even tell you, if you're a really basketball junkie, go back and watch Pearl Washington destroy Georgetown's press by himself. That is a bad boy. That was a bad boy. He was eating that press up by himself. But I still say the 2 greatest college games, bar none, is Magic versus Bird, which is still the all-time most watched game. But the better game that weekend was not that game. The better game was Larry Bird versus DePaul with Mark Aguirre and Terry Cummings. God, Teddy Grubbs. What was Teddy Grubbs? I used to know them all. That was a hell of a game. I mean, if you're a basketball junkie, look that game up. I mean, yeah, Magic and Bird wasn't really a good game. They shut Bird down. That's all they really had was Steve Nicks. Not Steve Nicks, but Nicks was one of the little slashing guards. That's all they had. They ain't had nothing but Larry Bird. But to show you how bad Larry Bird is, watch what he does to that great DePaul team. See, Magic had Magic, Greg Kelser, All-American. They had a good team. Big team. Because when they brought Charles in, you had Kelser at 6'9". You had Charles at 6'8". You had Magic at 6'9". So when he gets it, he's covered with dudes bigger than him because Larry Bird's 6'7", 6'8". Maybe 6'8.5". So it was hard for him to pass out. And then he just didn't have the talent. But that game, watch DePaul. That's a great game. If you can ever catch that, that's a good game. Who's seen that commercial with Barkley and they showed Route 22? Then they came back from commercial and score was 22-32. Oh, okay. Good catch. Oh, insane balls rolling off the rim. I thought for sure you'd agree with that. Ending the first half was so suspect. Over and under was 65 and 60. Yeah, because the final the over and under for the game was 131. They gave up 7 in 131. You had to pay 100 to win 100. You had to pay 110 to win 100. So the half was okay. That makes sense. Yeah, it was just under. Yep. Because we was like to say they need 80 points to break the 131. So I thought that was interesting too. So, very lackluster game, but we knew how it was going to end. We weren't surprised. Nothing we saw tonight surprised us. And just as, we saw adjustment for the refs for the female games, they didn't have to have it much to do with the game tonight, I didn't feel. as they had to do with the female game. They had to do a lot more controlling scripting. Tonight, the script went perfect. And did they push out shots? I'll say absolutely. Now, maybe I thought they pushed out his dunk. That's what I really thought, because the way he was released and it went straight to the back, I thought they pushed it out. But it was they missed shots in the first half too, layups. They missed layups in the first half too. So they missed a lot. UConn missed a lot of close-in shots. That was like, you could tell they could really blow them out. A lot of close-in shots. So really, it's not much of a story. This is a story that's going to go away. SportsCenter's going to talk about it tomorrow. They're going to praise the players they blowing up. And then, the story's going to die. And that's how it goes. People have a short memory. I mean, hell, we got a commercial. We got a Miller Lite commercial where they got a dude look like George Zimmerman. I've talked about this before. Look up the Miller Lite commercial. Maybe I can find it here. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find this recent Miller Lite commercial show George Zimmerman. These are all old commercials. Well, maybe. No, these are just old ones. But it's a cat look like George Zimmerman. That's how short memories. I'm the only one speaking on this. Oh, here it is. Here it is right here, y'all. Right here. Okay. This is George Zimmerman. Let's freeze it. Let me get it back here. Nah, it's a better one than this. It's really quick, so. Let's go there. All right, I'll get it. Here we go. All right. We have short memories, and this is how they mock us. Tell me that ain't George Zimmerman. That's George Zimmerman. That's the dude that supposedly shot dude. Tyrell or whatever his name was. That's him. Look at that. That's him. See that? Remember George Zimmerman? That's him. It's a lookalike. And nobody cares. Look at that. It's George Zimmerman. That's a lookalike. Nobody's making any, This is how they mock you. They show you same phenotype. See that? That's George Zimmerman. So that's how they mock you. They don't care. See that? They know you have short memories. So they can put this same face in front of you and make fun of you. Did Teddy Grubbs had attempted charge back in 87? I don't know. Teddy Grubbs. Oh, which one? Oh, man, was it Teddy Grubbs that was, yeah, that might have been so, because you know what? One of them, and maybe it was Teddy Grubbs because we saw him on the train, and he was in bad shape. So it might have been Teddy Grubbs, but I'm not sure. But one of those five ended up being homeless in Chicago for a while. Yeah. And maybe Teddy Grubbs did have that, but them some dudes that can hoop. That's an old name. That is an old name, but they had some dudes that could hoop. That was when Joe Myers Seniors, I think it was Senior, was there. The one that coached Dave Corzine. Because I think my cousin played for Junior. I don't think he played for Ray Myers. He played for Joey Myers. I think my cousin played for Joey Myers. I don't think he played for Ray Myers. But Mark Aguirre and Terry Cummings and Teddy Grubb played for Ray Myers and Dave Corzine years before. If y'all remember, when Jordan was maybe Jordan was rookie, Corzine might have still been there. But Dave Corzine played. He was from DePaul and he played with the Bulls. If y'all remember him, I googled his name and it popped up. Okay. I just googled his name and it popped up. Okay. Yeah. And I just wonder if he became homeless from that after he got out. Because one of them, man, it was somebody. Oh, who I can't even remember who. But I remember it was one of them was homeless, and that might be why he was homeless. One of them was homeless. That he had played in the national championship game, ended up homeless. Yeah, might have been Teddy Grubb. Could have been. Because I remember he was on the bus, and it was like, man, he was homeless. So could have been going to prison, got out, and life didn't work for him. So, you know, guys, that was a solid five that probably all could have played NBA. That five was great. It wasn't just, you know, Cummings and Guire. Like you said, Teddy Grubbs, the other two players, which, you know, we'd have to look them up to see, but they were a great team. They made the Final Four from the Horizon. I think what is that conference they're in? They played at the Horizon USA Conference, something like that. I guess all my wires are scratching. I'm hearing this shit. I don't know if people remember, you know, Indiana State was a very small school. As I said, I learned about them first from them playing A&T in the NIT. I'm rhyming again for me. So, yeah, I mean, but we have short memories, y'all. We have very short memories. And they mock us every chance they get. I'll say this too. Let's see. I mean, they mock us every chance they get. So we just have to understand who rapes when. Let me tell you a story. I got a story. I know a couple of weird stories like that. I know a dude that was married, and his wife put him in jail for rape. His wife put him in jail for rape. This dude, yeah, it was one of my friends. I can't say he was friends. I was more friends with his brother, but I knew the nigga. And yeah, his wife put him in prison for rape, and he did like 4 or 5 years. Yeah, from his wife. So, yeah, you don't really have to rough women up, you know. Richard Pryor said that women should have a trap in their pussy. You know, they should have a lock. You know, so if somebody rapes a woman, the woman's pussy could just snap and, you know, lock the dick to it like, you know, they do with dogs. You know, a dog is lock up and shit. And that's what Richard Pryor was saying. He's like, person try to get away, they can't get away because they locked. He's like, oh, okay, you took the pussy, so you violated, and, you know, you can't leave the woman. You're locked to the woman until, you know, even if you kill her, she's still locked to her because you can't get it out. You'd have to cut your shit off to get out. Exactly. Or you can go buy some. And on the college campus and you a basketball star, you ain't got to take it. You ain't got to take it. You go to college, you ain't got to take it. Now, I knew dudes in college. Like I've said, I knew animals. I went to college with some animals, and they boule animals. I saw mostly niggas that was frats and boule niggas rape. I didn't have any participation in it, but I've said this story before. 22 dudes raped this woman. And because she passed out. And these is boule niggas from D.C. And these niggas is running up and down trying to grab niggas to come in there and rape her too. And I ain't believe the shit. And I was like, what? And we walked in there and like, these niggas is in there fighting on who's next. She passed out. And she lost school. And none of these niggas got in trouble. But it's these same niggas. You know, like I was saying, you know, I looked at them niggas from D.C. where they had a little more maturity. More so than I had for studying and things. But again, they had that animal mentality being from D.C. Because who's running up and down the hall, knocking on doors saying, who wants to fuck a woman? Because she sleep. You know? And this is what these niggas did. This is what these boule niggas did. And they can say what they want, but I was an eyewitness to that shit, and you niggas did that shit. Now they travel the world. They try to see all the European shit they can see, you know. Because I'm Facebook friends with 2 of them, and y'all raped that girl. Your home girl, y'all raped her. So they probably never see this, but they can't deny that they did it. Because my best friend Squirrel down in South Carolina, we both witnessed these niggas. We's like, you guys is animals. They animals. They animals. So, some motherfuckers is just motherfuckers, y'all. And ain't nothing you can do about it. And money, Prestige don't do nothing about that. They still motherfuckers. You understand? So I wasn't an animal like that where I needed that. Because the girl, I'll tell the whole story. My homeboy fucked the girl. Because I moved on campus, met her when the students came on. You know, I wasn't really moving around campus. I was still only, you know, I just know football practice, my dorm. I don't know the rules yet. It ain't nobody been on campus but us football players. And all of a sudden the students are coming. So it took me a minute to figure it out. And so my homeboy knocked her. She tried to give me some. My homeboy knocked her off. You know, I was like, okay. I wasn't really turned on by her. And then that's what happened to her. Because she was a get high girl. You know, drink, give me whatever to drink, give me whatever to smoke. And, you know, you can't be like that, all out of control. And she went to the police, but she took a shower. She took a shower, then went to the police and told what happened to her. And they couldn't do nothing because, well, where's the evidence? So, yeah. That is how inhuman other humans will treat people, and even our own people. Even our own people. Wow. Nick has a video that says able-bodied males panhandle over working. I told the story, you know, here, all you got to do is hold a sign. And this woman, I saw a woman, and this woman had to be 5'10", 3-something. She was about 5'10", but she was 3-something. Now I'm 6 foot and I weigh 220, anywhere between 214 and 220. This woman is a few inches shorter than me and weighed 300 pounds. She was 300 pounds plus. And she was out there holding a sign. Now, you can't judge anybody, but you couldn't look at her and say, well, it don't look like you missed any meals. You ain't hungry. And I mean, that's the obvious joke, but it's real. I mean, when you look at people, you want some sympathy when you get you give them money. No one would really look at her like she's hungry. And I don't remember what her sign said, but it obviously couldn't have said, I'm hungry. And I know some people say, well, just because she got that size doesn't mean that she wasn't hungry. And that's true, given that moment. But up to the point where she came into the street in the middle of the highway to hold the sign, she wasn't hungry. I said she wasn't hungry. She looked like she had too many Happy Meals. When she was a child, she liked Happy Meals. When she was a teenager, she liked Happy Meals. When she was grown up, she would order 5 Happy Meals at a time. And Happy Meals add up. 5, 10, 320 pounds. But she ran out of money. And she needed more Happy Meals. So she takes a sign and stands on the highway and says, please help me. I got hungry children at home. But I remember seeing her because I saw her. She's over by the hospital. And, you know, I go get therapy on my arm. Well, now I got to go Friday to get therapy on my arm and shit. And so I saw her walking. You know, I saw her walking down the street to walk to the spot where I guess that's her buddy making spot. And I've just thought, the visual is all wrong, honey. The visual is wrong. You know, you standing there like you need help is wrong, just the way you look. So I don't know. And that's, yep, they kicked me off. Nope, they let me back on. Okay, what happened? Kick me off, let me back on. I guess I'm still going. Okay, there it is. I'm still going. Kick me off, let me back on. It's just comedy, y'all, you know, but it's real. That's a true story. That chick was like that. I'm not lying about that chick. That chick was all the way live, standing out there like that. That's a true story. You know, I'll say this, and this is true to my character. And I don't know if it's character involved, but it's like we can learn a little bit from everybody. And I don't have to like knock down anybody to build my stuff up. Now I know it's a lot of personal stuff out there going on. And I hate to see where good investigators, good researchers get caught up in, I don't like this mug, and this mug be lying about this mug be lying about that. And then that's your content. And your content becomes knocking somebody. Because one dude ain't knocking you. You knocking him. Now, I'm not saying you're not wrong about knocking that dude, because what he's saying, I agree. But it's to a point where, fuck him. That's what I think. It's like, why are you even thinking about that nigga? To make content, why are you even thinking about him? Fuck him. You such a great researcher. You don't need to stoop to that. I mean, if you're a great researcher, why do you need to knock another nigga because he makes some shit that okay, you disagree with it, leave it there. So that's all I got to say about it. I don't understand that kind of thing. I don't really try to be in my emotions. I don't put my emotions. Because, bro, when you come off, you coming off with a lot of emotion. And I know what you feel, your passion is. I understand that. But it's at some point where, I think my scholarship is good enough where fuck what anybody else say. Now, I may make mistakes, and I got good people out here to watch can say, okay, hey, you ain't right about that. I can add this. Okay, thank you. I go back and look up what I studied and say, oh, okay, that's what I missed. So I do want that around me. I ain't the only one with the answer. So you wasting a lot of energy, bro. And I ain't taking sides. I'll take sides. You gave me the time walking papers, nigga. I'm on your side. Fuck that other nigga. Because I've said the first time I dealt with him was over fraud. Some chick said he overtaxed him. That was my first dealings about this cat. And this is back on Facebook in 14, 15, or 16, somewhere in there. I was in the nigga's group. So that was my early hearings about the nigga, and he's spitting all that denial is the Mississippi. And I told him, and anybody, you want to think that the waters I live near, you want to think that is denial, come up here and we'll ask the water. We will get that water and we will ask the water. That's the silliest shit. I've watched Rami Ramil's live stage over the weekend. He had a panel, one Negro going to jump on the panel, say he just got through paying for some pussy. Rami kicked him and everybody off the panel. Well, I just bought some. Hey, Nicole B, thank you for joining. That's funny. That's funny. I don't know who you're talking about, but that's funny, Lorenzo. And I don't watch a whole bunch of people either. I like a lot of stuff. And I subscribe because I watch and you catch me for a few minutes, I subscribe to people. I give people support. I definitely give people support. So that's kind of how I am. But, bro, you're wasting a lot of energy on something that you already won. When you win and you've won and what you do is winning, you don't need to re-justify it. You don't have to point out someone else's weaknesses, someone else's lies. You don't have to point that out. You don't have to point them out at all. You ignore that. Now, you feel attacked, okay, then you're protecting yourself, but just saying, you putting a lot of energy in something that don't really need all the energy you putting in it from me looking on the outside, looking in. And all of them. And I know what it's like to be attacked. I know what it's like to be attacked because I watched my brother be attacked. Because a lot of them, Camareo, whatever his name is, a lot of them dudes who I told that was in the early Indian movement, these dudes was goat lovers. They was Israelites. And that's what they still are. They're hiding and making money calling themselves Indians and doing Indian work, but they're all Israelites. They're Hebrews, which found another hustle. These dudes found another hustle by calling themselves Indians and putting Indian material out there, but that ain't what they are in their hearts. Like I mentioned before, when you had all these, what Isabella did when she was like, hey, it's either the rack or you be a Christian. Well, what all these dudes who was losing what they was doing, they did all this research on Hebrew Israelite stuff, okay? And it's all bullshit. They know it's bullshit. So they came in on, they was like, okay, well, we can't be Pan-Africans because they take it, let's whoop the Pan-Africans' ass in New York. And that's what all these cats did. All these cats attacked these Pan-Africans that was doing the same thing, frauding people, scamming people under the guise of Pan-Africanism. And all they did is took them down to do the same thing. to do the same thing. They just wanted the money. Now, you look at my setup, I ain't rich, but damn, if I need to come on here and beg for y'all for money, I ain't need to come down here to buy this $2,000 desktop or whatever the fucking, I ain't asked nobody to give me a dime for this. I bought this myself. This Tascam Mixcaster 4, I ain't asked nobody to buy this for me. I bought this for myself. So I ain't had to go that route. I ain't have to hide my true agenda to put the message out. I ain't had to fraud people. And there's a lot of people out there that do that. Hey, Key, what's happening? And for a lot of cats, it's about money. I don't know. Maybe they need the money. Obviously, look at me. I don't need the money. I ain't slumming. This is just my room. This is extra room. This is a sectional, okay? You see that right there? That's a sectional. This is a full Norder track. The newest one. Take you all around the world and shit, and you can run with this shit. So does it look like I need to scam people? Does it look like I need to beg people for money? Like a lot of these dudes do. Put out content because they want to make money. Yeah, it's monetized if you don't see me live. If you see me live, I don't even monetize this. I don't need it like that. A lot of these cats 4 or 5 years needed it like that. Y'all remember before I had my laptop before? Y'all saw me when I had this? My son did this to it. And now, one time did I come out here asking for a dime. You know, it's like, what's that lucid living chick? She's crying, my son's in jail, we need to get banned. You know, just lying, trying to get some money. What else y'all got going on? You know, that makes me wonder too. Like, what else y'all got going on? Y'all ain't doing this just to have fun? Oh, thank you for listening. Cash App flying across the screen. Exactly. My Cash App, it ain't here. Now, I know Anise, the other day, she showed it. Now, thank you. But that, as far as me, I don't need to come at y'all like that. I don't need y'all to buy my fancy threads. And my old stock hat. You know, I know it's a black nasty, but this come from old stock, so I don't care. It matched the shit. And actually, the way it looks on camera, I like the all black. But yeah, this is the black nasty. I understand, but this is old stock, so I didn't mind having it. If you need the bread, I ain't knocking anybody to need the bread. You know, that's not a knock on anybody. If you need the bread, you need the bread. But obviously, I don't do this because I need the bread. I think Sly said it best. It's a way of therapy. It's a way of all this teaching, all this learning, of getting some of this stuff out and not just racking it in my brain. It's a way of all this creative debt I have, of writing these screenplays, you know, visualizing what type of shots, each scene. Well, I can't do none of that, but I can do this. So this is a way of paying off a lot of that, that kind of debt. So that's all. So ain't nobody can say, well, he scammed me. The stuff I've sent to people, like I said, our old brother Sean package was done in the box, ready to ship off, and then, you know, my trunk got fucked up. So I've got to take my trunk over and get my trunk fixed and get all the stuff. My fur coat is in my trunk. I only got to wear it one time this winter, so I was taking that to the cleaners. So that's the only person I ain't sent something to that I owe to send something to. And Sly, I need the because Sly, I know you still saying you having those night terrors. I definitely, I'm sorry. Because I know I've got to go check on if I can get some sugar wholesale for somebody else, but I can get some myself. And I'll see if I can get a big stick of selenite and get some of these little pieces of this kyanite. And maybe even if I can even get because these are good to put in your corners. These are Popolites because the dark can't hide. Like when you turn off the light, you know where the dark goes. It goes in the corner. Just stand in the center of a room and you see where it goes. The dark goes somewhere. It don't just disappear because you turn the light off. It disappears because, it hides in the corners. And this protects your corners. So with the dark, it's things that like to hide with the dark. But you put this, you put the kyanite and you put them pyramids in the corner, they can't hide there. They can't hide. So they vanish. They get out your space. So I'm sorry. I know when we first met, you talked about that, and I'm sorry. I have to get you this stuff. And I want to show you guys, man. I mean, I keep this around me. This eucalyptus. I put this in my showers. I anoint my crystals. We are coming on a full moon. Damn. The full moon is this week. So yeah, maybe I can do a little ceremony because the full moon, I'm pretty sure, is this week. Let's check it. Let's check it. Let's see. Let's see. All right. When is April's full moon? I think it's this week. Full moon in April. Let's get it. All right, let's get this. Let's see. Is this it? Or do I need to? Yeah, I think I need to bring that out. Here we go. The full moon in April is named the pink moon after the pink flowers that bloom in spring. Other names are breaking ice moon, budding moon, awakening moon, egg moon. The pink moon is tonight. Damn, the pink moon was tonight, right? Wow. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm on. No, tomorrow. Nope, Wednesday. The pink moon is Wednesday. So yeah, I'll be on then. So the pink moon is Wednesday. So I'll do a little ceremony and stuff. Yeah, I'll put in. So gets its name from the pink wildflowers and bloom in the early spring. It is thought that the name comes from the bright colored pink Felix flower that's native to the Americas that often bloom around the time of April's moon. The American Indian names refer to the spring thaw and signs of the new growth, year ending each year, growth each year. Including names like breaking ice, the moon of the red grass appearing. Common names in Europe also refer to the budding birth of spring with grass, sprouting birds, budding new shoots moon, seed moon. So it can be the Easter moon. The Paschal is the first full moon on or after 20 used to be determined the date of Easter. In some years, the Paschal moon is the pink moon, and others it's the worm moon. March, Easter in March. The days the Paschal moon range from March 21st to April. And again, so yeah. So Wednesday we'll be doing a little thing. We'll do a little thing on Wednesday. Bring in this new energy. It's a time to manifest. And since what do I always say? You start manifesting. These full moon energies are 4 days. Hey, PJ Allen. Last forever. I put this in every shower. It helps with clarity. I anoint a lot of things when I go through things and hit them with sound, or I bring in new crystals, or just to cleanse crystals, I hit them with the smells and I hit them with sounds. I think, that's one part that I can't really get too deep into that. Fire's creation, but smell is a big part of they can keep things off you too, and that's something that's probably not talked about. Some of these smells, this shit don't like it around. It's like magnets. It's things that don't like magnets, but it's things that also don't like these smells. And so you keep some of this stuff around you, and it protects you in a way too. So, and some of these smells give people, I don't know if y'all remember Umar Johnson. He was doing smells and talking about he was getting high just doing the smells. He's trying to sell some shit. And I'm not trying to sell this, it's other stuff that, I don't sell this. So it's not like I bought this from my own I'm not, natural, nature bliss. You don't need to get the kind that says therapeutic because if you look at the pure essence, what's in it, 108 milliliters is the essence that's in it. So that's what you look for is how much essence that you want from something. Uh, yeah. PJ was another one that had UConn winning it all. We all kind of jumped to that when we saw that. But yeah, that's what I'll look to celebrate. I'll bring the big peace pipe up here. I got my peace pipe, and I usually bring that. Throw a little wax in that sucker, and smoke the peace pipe. And let me give some energy out. Because I'm not going to be on tomorrow night, right? Monday night? Yeah, I'm not going to be on tomorrow night. I'll come on tomorrow afternoon and do the Big Eagle show. But I'll give some love out to everybody. Give you some motivation for tomorrow. Give you a little guidance. And that ain't the guidance. Put that backwards. Give you a little consciousness. Ah, okay. Let's do it like this. Where's it at? I just here. Let's see. All right. All right. Let's right here. All right. Yeah, just this. All right. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Let me all right, here we go. We are looking at. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go, guys. I give freely, so if you need a little encouragement for tomorrow, I'm gonna give it. Raven. Throughout time, Raven has carried the medicine of magic. This has been true in many cultures across the planet. It is sacred in the medicine ways to honor Raven as the bringer of magic. If magic is bad medicine, the carrier may be honored out of fear rather than out of respect. Those who fear Raven may do so because they have been dabbling in areas which they had no knowledge, and a spell may have backfired on them. Rather than analyzing the dark side of sorcery, realizing that you will fear Raven only if you need to learn more about your inner fear or self-created demons. Self-created demons. That's what crack would do. It would give you a self-created demon. If Raven appears in your spread, you are about to experience a change in consciousness. This may involve walking inside the great mystery on another path at the edge of time. It would portend a signal brought by the Raven that says you've earned the right to see and experience a little more of life's magic. Raven's color is black, the color of the void, the black hole in space that holds all the energy of the creative source. In native teaching, the color black means many things, but it does not mean evil. Black can mean the awakening of answers, the void, the road of the spiritual or non-physical. The blue-black of Raven contains the iridescent that speaks of the magic of darkness, a changeability of form, the shape that brings awakening in the process. Raven is the guardian of ceremonial magic and Absistina healing. In any healing circle, Raven is present. Raven guides the magic of healing and the change of consciousness that will bring about a new solidarity and dispel disease or illness. Raven brings in the new side of wellness from the void of great mystery in the field of plenty. Raven is a messenger that carries all energy flows of ceremonial magic between the ceremony itself and the intended destination. For instance, if ceremony is performed to send energy to a distant area where people need courage and strength, Raven would be the carrier for that energy flow. The intention could be to allow people of the devastated area to feel the concern and support of the participants in the ceremony. If you've chosen the Raven, magic is in the air. Do not try to figure it out. You cannot. If the power of the unknown is at work, something special is about to happen. The deeper mystery, however, is how you will respond to the sparkling synchronicity in this alchemical movement. Will you recognize it and use it to further enhance your growth? Can you accept it as a gift from the Great Spirit, or will you limit the power of the great mystery by explaining it away? It may be time to call Raven a courier to call, carrier to call to carry an intention, some healing energy, thought, or message. Raven is the patron of smoke signals of the spirit message represented by the smoke. If you want to send a message to the Blue Road of Spirit in order to contact the ancients, call Raven. Or he who knows the ancients may be calling you. Remember, this magic moment came from the void of darkness. Hope y'all appreciated it. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad y'all did. Thank you. Thank you very much. Because I give freely, and that's what we should do. Yeah, so I wanted to, hit y'all with that tonight. And everything you own on UConn, there's Jeffrey. Welcome. Oh, yeah, they're all over the news. I bet. Is anybody that comes that is not? Nope. There we go. All right. Trying to think. Nope. Okay. All the Connecticut's known for UConn, Yale, and W.E. Waring, ESPN. Good points. That's all Connecticut is known for: UConn, Yale, WWE Wrestling, and ESPN. That's a good point. And a lot of that could be where this is coming from. Well, I'm getting tired, running out of stuff to say. But Jeffrey's giving me some energy. I can always tell when UConn is winning it all. Well, I think we really looked at the Final Four. When it came down to the Final Four, it was kind of easy. I don't think it was a tough choice to see that UConn was the one, and I said it. That's on. That's on that I said it. So I don't think we can argue that. But yeah, I do have to reach out to Siova. So. Man, and oh my goodness, it's just funny, man. It's amazing women didn't win it too. Yeah, I'm amazed too. One thing. Well, let me say one more thing. You're not going to be on tomorrow, but I want to put out there that before you go, today is MFK's 54th anniversary of his death, April 4th. I was alive. I think I was in second grade when he got murdered. I was younger. He got murdered in 68. I was in second grade. 69, 70, 68, 69. Yeah, he got murdered. I was in second grade. Yeah. Wow. I feel like tomorrow's in New York is going to be crazy. Yeah, because New York is connected to Connecticut. And so is Delaware. That's why I used to always like when we played Delaware State, we was close to New York. So it was really cool to play Delaware State too. We'd go down there and we'd sneak out the hotel and go to New York. So that was really cool. When we played South Carolina State, we was fucking clubbing that motherfucker. We stuck out the hotel. We was down in Times Square. We ran up into what was it? You had to go upstairs. What was that called? Club 55 or some shit. We went up there and shit. Snuck out the goddamn hotel. We was in New York partying. They are filming the Joker the same street as the courthouse for Trump. Wow, I didn't know that. Thank you for adding that. Shit, Jeffrey be sending me so much good stuff. Mike can do it tonight. I feel like fucking around. Okay. Let's see if I can have some fun. Let's see if I can. How do I do this? Like this. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Have some fun with y'all. Frick. It's got to be somewhere in here. Let's see. Oh, I should find some shit of my daughter. That shit's so funny when she's young. This is not it. This is not it. Okay, let's try. That's gotta be it. Or unless it's this one. That is not it. All right, let's try this. Bummer, that's not it. I might can do here. Okay. Let's see. I think this is it. All right. See if I can do this tonight, y'all. Let's see if I can do this tonight. All right, I wanted to get y'all opinions, some help on rings. Let's see how far I can take this. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of this one? What do you think? I do like this on the side. Satin, that's called satin. I like that one. What do y'all think? This is the most like my fiance's ring, but it's a different company. But this is the most like hers. Because she has the whole carat up, and then she has a second carat, holding the big diamond. So it's closer to this. Kind of like this. This is the style I'm probably getting. This is their version of this style. Oh, does anybody want to buy a money counter? I got a money counter. I don't use it anymore. That's broke, but it works. That still works. Look at this one. What do you guys think? None of these are VS Diamonds, but this is from Macy's. What do you guys think? This is from Macy's. Look at this. I think that's 75 points with another 25 points that gives you a whole carat. I kind of like this one too. This is about, I think, 2 carat total with the white gold satin. Look at this motherfucker. Look at that. God damn, that's a bad motherfucker there. Look at all that work, that detail. Look at that shit there. Don't really like that one. Don't mind that one. Look at that. Look at that shit there. Was this 3 carats? Look at that. 2.5 carats. And these ain't VS Diamonds, but damn. Okay, this is what I was trying to tell you. This is Macy's Lab Grown Diamonds. These diamonds are not VS diamonds. They're all SIs and lab created. Now, if you get lab created, it ain't that much more expensive to get VS diamonds if you get them lab created. But this is Macy's. But still, it's not a bad deal. Channel setting. And this is what? Only a carat, though, for the 3. Must be out of the diamonds. Yeah. Out of the diamonds. I think I went too fast. It's not the one I really wanted, though. Let's see. Well, yeah. Just messing around, that's all. Ah, okay. Probably take it down now. Bring it back up. I'm just fucking around, y'all. That's all. All right. Let's take me there, which will take me. It was plain to see it was all a story about Tennessee. Take me to that, wherever it went. Oh well, I don't really care that much about it. I'm just fucking around, y'all. You know why I like Pinterest, y'all? I like Pinterest because you know what? I can go into shit and talk about anything. All the shit that I like, I can literally bring this shit up and start talking about this shit. Let me see if this stupid shit to come out. What is it? Will it do? I don't think it'll do nothing. Okay. But I can literally go to anything and start really have something to say about it. Shit. Gosh, some other stuff. Where did this stuff go? I guess it ain't here. All right. I don't know. I don't know where the shit. Let me show you. Yeah, I can talk about this. Yeah, let's show that. See, this is what I have behind me. I have him. I bought him. And this is the oldest sports figure in America. This guy right here. This is an Olympic ball player. And he's sliding, playing it off his elbow. I have this. And it looks like the original one is this. It's not in very good shape. This is the original one. It's not in great shape. See how old it is? But it is the oldest. This is the oldest sports figure in America. This right here. Is this the transformation? Yes. This is the Wear Baby transformation. Transforming from a human. Whoops, didn't mean to show all that. He's happy to see somebody. But this is traditionally the transformation, the shapeshifter. Ship shaper. The transformation into the panther. And I know it's not fair to go into shit that I study. That's not really fair. But I don't know. I'm not into it, man. Kind of losing my mojo. Let's see. Trump is Bane or Batman. How, of course, they're filming the courthouse. Trump is Bane or Batman. I'd say more Batman. Suns have history against them. The last 4 seed to win the championship was 69 Celtics with Bill Russell. Good point, CME, and welcome. The silver one is hot. I like the silver one. Did you see the Blue Beetle trailer with the scab? I missed that. I only see Celtics. I see Celtics, Suns, 76ers winning. Okay. Excalibur is the best interpretation of King. Okay, King Arthur. They just dropped the Spider-Man trailer. I like the King Arthur one. I like the one that tells the truer story, and it's not Excalibur. Excalibur goes into the oh my goodness, what is the myth of Pinna. Like King Arthur comes from another myth. And the better story, they made a story that shows it was Roman people trying to protect the last Roman outpost before Rome got out of England. When Rome finally got out of England, did you guys see that King Arthur? That was another King Arthur, showing that it was just the last Roman outpost, trying to fight the trying to fight the Goths, you know, the Valagals, the Gauls, the Vadagals. So, but thank you, Jeffrey. They just dropped the Spider-Man trailer. Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, y'all, you know, I'm going to come on sometime tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to leave it. It's kind of, yeah, for me, it's not bad. And I appreciate y'all, you know, to see this now, that see this in the future. I appreciate it. And I want to thank you very much for listening to the old man's heartbeat while it's still beating. You know, I told my daughter a thing. And let me tell you how you have to be. Like my best friend Tony, who came over Saturday, watched the game with me, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't do anything. So, you know, why would I take alcohol over to a house that no one drinks alcohol? Just because that's what you want to be comfortable going over to somebody else's house. Why would you want to bring that energy where that energy doesn't exist? And if you did bring in something like that, isn't that you spelling on those people? You're bringing in this spirit that doesn't exist there because there's nobody there that wants it. And a lot of people don't think like that. A lot of people are like, fuck it, I'm going to my best friends, I'm taking my bottle. Well, you just can't go smoke everywhere. Nobody hardly smoke. It's funny, people smoke weed inside, they smoke cigarettes outside. Isn't that funny? Because weed don't stick on your walls. You smoke a cigarette, it's going to be all in your paint, all in your ceiling, all in your carpet. That's how nasty cigarettes are. Weed don't make your house smell like that. So, but why would you take an energy that don't exist? Now, I would definitely, I admit I took a gummy before I went. I took a gummy while I was there. That's secretly doing me. I'm not releasing anything. So be mindful of that. And I think a lot of people don't look at it. They're selfish. Well, you know, I got my six pack. I knew a family. I knew a dude and his wife. They took a fucking, what do you call it? Cooler of beer everywhere they went. And never saw them drunk, but everywhere they went, they took a cooler of beer. So it didn't matter if you had beer where they went. They brought their own beer. So they didn't have to rely on anybody. Like they would go over their one in-laws because they knew they smoked weed. My wife's dad, it was his cousin. So they knew that if they bring their beer, he smoked weed with them. Or if he give them a couple of dollars, he smoke a couple of joints with them. They wouldn't have to pay anything. They brought their own beer, and her dad just would smoke weed, and they'd smoke weed. So if you understand, you don't want to bring an energy in just because you're selfish. And I've seen niggas do that. My best friend don't drink. Now, when I'm at home, you know me, I chew on cigars. I drink beer. We watched 2 games. So we just watched the championship. Yeah, the championship was yesterday. Yeah, Saturday. No, it was 2 games Saturday. So he came over. Or did he come over? No, he watched the men's game. So he watched the 2 men's game with me. So I'm in my home. I'm drinking. I'm chewing on my cigar. Taking my edibles. And you know, when family's around, I don't just smoke in front of everybody. It's just, that ain't me. I don't need to just smoke in everybody. Hey, everybody, I'm smoking. Don't need to be like that. When edibles are so good and you can do it quietly. Just because your house, you ain't got to be bodacious. I mean, I could cuss everybody out. Like, you don't like me smoking this motherfucker. I just smoke it. Get the fuck out of my house. I can do that, but I don't. That ain't my style. Sounds like a great time. Oh, yeah, I got it on. But, you know, I'm at home, you know. But I'm not going to take that energy to his house. Yeah, I took my gummies, but I ain't, you know, that ain't nothing anybody going to pick up on. And he had a great spread. Oh, God, his wife makes this. I don't like Spanish rice. I like her Spanish rice. I do not like Spanish rice. I like her Spanish rice. Oh, my goodness, I was maxing it. I was maxing her Spanish rice. But I had to, before I went, my daughter doesn't like tacos. So I kind of knew that. So I made burgers before I went, and she just maxed some burgers. So and she ate all my fruit, like all my bananas, my apples and grapes. I always keep that stuff. I eat bananas every day. So, well, y'all, I hope the Raven energy, if you need it, if you need to make that call, you need to send some energy out to bring back to you, need some foresight. That's what the Raven is about. Thank you, guys. I won't be on tomorrow night. But I will be on, let's see. I might show this. Yeah. This, I'll just be talking about shit. But this contortionist was actually found in an Olmec grave. This is, they found graves and they won't show you what the people are. They don't talk DNA shit when they find the Olmec tombs. But this contortionist is Olmec. Again, well, they say this is Mayan, so this is a little older. These are athletes that they're showing. One more. Fairly common in the world of South America to show a contortionist. Again, the same statue. I have this in a book. Let me see if they show where it originally came from. No, they're not going to show the crypt it came out of. Oops. Another one. And a few years ago, you could buy this stuff. Have your own creation. Again, I keep this stuff around me. Jade. Look at this jade. It's a small piece, but look at the fine artwork. This is America. Oops. What was I saying? Right here. Again, look at this fine jade. It's found in America. Look how beautiful this is. Look at this jade. These people had a lot of time, and he's holding the transformation. So do you see he's the same thing? He's also the transformation. This is inside. More jade. Look at how beautiful this is. And this is what I call the X. You see that? It's how you kind of see if this stuff is real or not. You see this? Normally ear spills. They call this the aging. You see this? Again, jade had a high value. This is one of the very few pieces of wood, carved wood that exist. This is wood. So they did do things out of wood. And imagine how much material disappeared because it was done in wood. Just other shots of it. So wood was dominant too, but again, the stones lasted a lot longer than the woods lasted. See if the big heads are in here. Probably not. And this is my guy. Better shot of my guy. That's a better. Another, the transformation. I love the transformation energies. But here's my guy again. Better shot of him. I mean, just look at this artwork. This is a very popular picture. Again, she's holding the transformation. And her whole, I know we can't, let me see if this is better. Let's see. We can't see all the inscriptions. There's a lot of inscriptions on her, and it's not bringing it up. You can kind of see it here, but her whole body has inscriptions. And let's see if we can get a clear picture. Yeah, I don't think we can. I don't think we can get a clear picture. And one thing of America is the emphasis on children. I mean, children in the arts. Children in the arts. Children. I mean, this is a culture that loved their children and showed representation of their children in many different forms. So that's a loving culture that highlights their children, where their art shows their children. What do we see in Roman and Greek? We don't see the children, do we? We see all these old people, bust of old people. So the children had a big role. And it's not kids. Get that out of your mind. Quit saying the goat lovers. Goat lovers have kids. We have children. We're humans. Humans don't produce animals. We produce children. We don't produce kids. And that's a spell. And if you call your children kids, you're spelling on your kids. You're spelling on your children. Excuse me. Quit spelling on them. They're not animals. They are children. That's what humans have. We have children. We don't have kids. Again, this is the first thing found. This is how they found out about it. I forget, Vortex Axe. This is the first thing ever found, and they didn't even know what this stuff was. They found this in about 1850. They had no idea that it was a completely unknown society. They had known by the Mayans by then. They didn't know what this was. They didn't really discover the omen, discover until the 1890s. So this was a civilization they knew nothing about. They found this and knew nothing about them. So, I mean, look how realistic this is. I mean, this Ohio. Look at this. Look how realistic that is. So these were their pictures. It's obvious that these are their pictures. You get this done. This was your picture. You put this on your wall. Or you put it on the table. I mean, look how realistic that is. These are pictures. Pictures from, thousands of years ago. Pictures. This is how they did pictures back then. Look at that beautiful work. Look at this. Little quartz in it. There's another one. Look at all the inscriptions. So it's another message on this. And then the bounded heads. See? Bounded heads. Make smarter, more intelligent people. When you bind your head and you take away that reptilian brain. Again, another transformation, copy of the transformation. Talak energy. This shit I love. I do this shit all day. Again, another contortionist. Another contortionist. Another picture of the Vortex Axe. You can get pictures of this. See, it just says dark jade, but this is actually the first thing they found. You can get pictures of all this. It's kind of cool. If you're into that kind of thing. You had this shit on your wall, which is good energy. And I just don't, what people, we all appreciate different things. Okay, this is one thing. Oops, where'd it go? Okay. One thing I learned from Dr. Winters, they try to push, what does this say? Sumerian. This is not Sumerian. This is Galatian. See those eyes? See, it's right here, it says standing Sumerian. This is Galatian. I learned that from Dr. Winters. This is not Sumerian. This is a different culture. So don't buy this. This is not Sumerian. It's Galatian. This is a different, complete culture. When you see these eyes like this, it's not Sumerian. So they're putting a fraud on this. This is not Sumerian. This is Galatian. And Dr. Winters, sometimes, see, that's what sometimes you don't completely burn the bridge and you don't close your ears off to information. But yeah, this is not Sumerian. This is a completely different culture that they're trying to pan off as something it's not. Well, bogus. Well, I went 25 minutes longer than I thought I would. And thank you. Here I am. And I got to pee again. So looking for those heads. Remember you speaking on binding. Yeah. I don't know. I think they're more portraits. Yeah, I could see where you're saying that's more shrinking heads when you're trying to, because you shrink the heads and then you would bind the consciousness of the head. That was kind of how it would go. But that's a good point. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, that's a good point. But again, if you took a picture, it'd be the same kind of energy that you would have over your house if you had a picture. But in stone, you see it's living forever. It's living forever. So I'm gonna go. I gotta pee again, and I'm gonna do an afternoon show tomorrow because I'm gonna keep going every day except I don't know. But I'm gonna try to do an afternoon show if I don't do an evening show. So I will not do an evening show tomorrow, but I will try to do the Big Eagle Hour tomorrow. So thank y'all for coming, and should we laugh again? Should we laugh again? Should we laugh again? Oh, I think I can get it over here. Should we laugh again? Come on, you know. I don't know, that shit is just so funny. Here we go. You suck. There we go. Oh my goodness, this shit is so freaking funny. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, bullshit. What happened? Okay. Okay, let's see if we can do it. Because it goes so fast. Okay, play it. All right. Let's laugh, y'all. Let's laugh. Oh, that shit is just too funny. Smokey quit. Smokey need to quit. Smokey need to quit. That shit's too funny. Well, thank y'all for the attention. I appreciate it. For old man to listen to old man's heartbeat, I appreciate it. And the word in the international word of trying to connect.